All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get started here. I'm going to share my screen. All right, and let's go up to the beginning. And what I want to do right now is I'm just going to do a very quick recap, just in case there is someone here that for whatever reason did not come to either day 1 or day 2. Okay, and then also for the sake of the video, there are people who are wanting to watch this session because this is not a session that's going to be repeated later on in our PD summer. And so I just want to make sure everyone gets a good idea of what we did. All right, so this is the Adventures in Writing and Storytelling, and I'm your presenter, Sonia Obregon. And then this is just that snapshot view of all of the sessions going on for PD summer. We'll come back to that later. Okay, so our real quick recap. On day 1, we dipped our toes and we looked at creating a story collaboratively in groups. And so we participated in an activity or an experience in the students' view, right? So you guys were participating as students in the activity because I really wanted you to feel what it was like to participate in that so that you get a better idea when you're creating your own templates, what that looks like and what the workflow is like. Then on day 2, we jumped in, this was yesterday, and we actually started learning some skills for creating templates, but not just templates for writing and storytelling, even though that's what we're doing right now. But these skills you can use across content area, across different types of learning experiences for students. So it was a really good wealth of information for you yesterday to build and create. And then today we're going to dive deep and we're going to look at our models that we've created, our templates, and we're going to talk about that. Okay, so just as a quick reminder, why are we looking at adventures in learning, or why is it important? And again, we talked about this on day 1, but we want to make sure that we've got visually appealing, rigorous, and relevant activities, right? Learning activities for students that will inspire them to think critically and to co-create and construct together. Okay, so that was the activity we did. We looked at some examples, so hopefully you've had the time in the past few days to really look at some more of these examples. And then that was another example, the Bukakucha. And then I left you with lots of resources for you to investigate further and get some really good ideas on some activities you can do with your students. Okay, so then yesterday, as a reminder, we learned these skills, and it's loading. Wonder why it's taking so long. It may be all my graphics. So we learned how to do these things right here, okay, and hopefully you had time to play with that. And then you followed me as we learned how to use or how to build skills in those items there that we showed you. And now today we're going to dive deep. Today we are going to reflect on our work and share some of our designs. And hopefully we're going to get a chance to talk about it too. Okay, so we'll have some time to do that. Here's our agenda. And so we're going to reflect on our learning using the show and share activity. We're going to discuss using the 3-2-1 reflections. We're going to share out our work and engage in discussion because we love feedback, right? I think teachers just, it's our nature to want to improve and we create lessons for our kids and then we want to know how we can make it better the next time. And so I think this is a great space for us to look at each other's work and help each other. And then I definitely want to leave some time for Q&A. So what we did last session was we kind of embedded the Q&A along with the show and share. So that may be what we do this time rather than keeping the Q&A separate. I think as we go through whatever it is that you might be wanting to show us, we can go ahead and entertain the Q&As as we go. And so then just to kind of bring everything back together, okay, what are some ideas for creating adventures in writing or storytelling that will make learning more relevant, more personal, more interactive? So these were some of the things that we talked about. And so I'm bringing that up for a reason here, because if for whatever reason, okay, I don't want you to feel like if you didn't have time to create something for the show and share, I would really like that maybe you come up to one of the resources that we've shared, maybe the Cyber Sandwich or the Insta Story. These are all great templates ready to go that will get your kids thinking and writing, okay? So you could come to one of those and you can say, you know what, I really want to try the Cyber Sandwich next year with my students, and I'm going to pick that one, and you make a copy for yourself and you put that in the show and share. Okay, so I don't want anyone to feel left out when we get to this part. Okay, so let's go ahead. We're going to reflect using the show and share activity. And so if you'll click on the link and open that up, I'm going to explain what we're doing there. And while you're getting there, let me check the chat, because it looks like somebody has posted a comment. Yes, so C. Robinson is asking if you will be able to look at the previous session. So I did record yesterday's session. Unfortunately, I did not record day one. I feel really bad about that, but I am going to post both days 2 and today's video on the end of the slideshow that we have here. All right, so in the show and share, let's look at the instructions. Okay, and this is also made in where I created templates. So you'll notice all of these are templates for students. You are my students today. And so what you're gonna do, that was the first class. So you guys are gonna start at number 10, okay? So from 10 on, and I can duplicate some more. I'm gonna make a couple more here. All I'm doing is duplicating the slide. All right, so starting at 10, go ahead and you're gonna put your name at the top and claim your slide. And then you're gonna tell me 3 new things that you tried and answer here. You're gonna tell me 2 questions you still have, tell me here. And then you're gonna tell me 1 element I included in my lesson design, or that I wanna include. So maybe you haven't done the lesson design yet, but you know this is something you wanna do to increase curiosity, relevance, and engagement with your students. So you're gonna fill out the 3, 2, 1, and then in the dotted box, I want a picture of your resource or of the lesson template that you created. So just 1 picture is fine. If you made a couple of slides the way I did here, then what I would do is I would take a snapshot of this, or I can easily just go to File, Download, and I can download a picture of this 1 side, okay? And I'm just demoing this here for you real quick. And I have a slide here that I was using as an example. So I'm gonna take that previous picture out, and then all I'm gonna do is drag my picture in. There it is, there's the snapshot or the JPEG I just downloaded. And then what I wanna do is grab the link. So make sure you open it up for sharing. Okay, so you're gonna click on share, get your link, make sure it's sent. Everyone at SAISD can view, okay? I have it on edit because right now I'm letting all of you edit, and that's fine. But for you guys, make sure it's view. And then I'm gonna add my link by using this little link button, and I added it to the picture itself, okay? So, let's see. Do that one more time because it looks like it linked to a slide instead. There it is. All right, so go ahead and pick your side and get started. I'm gonna give you 10 minutes on the timer. All right. And I'm here if you need to ask me any questions while you're working. Are you guys doing okay? So I'm on the slides, but I don't see anything happening. I just want to make sure that you guys are okay. Blanca, Nairi, are y'all there?
Yes, I'm just trying to add my links.
Oh, okay. Okay, we have 5 minutes.
On the link, am I supposed to just be taking a screenshot of the page, or how am I inserting the link into that box?
So you take you can grab the picture from your first slide. So here I'm on my first slide of my template, and I can go to File, Download, JPEG. And so you can get that picture, and then you can just drag it up onto the slide that you want it on.
And then add the link to it?
And then add the link, hyperlink the link, yes, to the picture.
Okay, so even if we didn't finish like the slides, then we just have the main thing, we still just do that, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And if you didn't do any slides at all, that's where I was saying you can go find a template you liked from the day one and put that there. Just, you'll need to make a copy of it for yourself, and then you can add it to the slide. Okay, that's time. Do you need another minute? I'll give you one more minute. All right, awesome. We're gonna go ahead and get started. And instead of me reading these out loud to the group, what I prefer to do is I'll have it up on the screen, and you guys can see it too on your own presentation, but I'd like for the person to just give us a quick synopsis of what they wrote. So we're gonna start with Blanca. And just take a couple of minutes. It doesn't have to be long. Just tell us a little bit about what you wrote. If you created something, then we'll take a look at it. If you did not, but you have ideas for what you want to do, then we'll just talk about that. So let's go ahead and we'll start with Blanca.
Okay, so I did not create something. It's just,
That's fine.
so I'm going to start out with that. But
Okay.
3 things that I tried during this course. First of all, I like the idea of using templates for Google Slides. I really like I don't know how to pronounce that. Wakelet. Okay. Because it has graphic organizers, and I love using graphic organizers in the
Awesome.
classroom. I think that is it's a really good source instead of, like you said, recreating the wheel all the time, using what's already made. I love extensions, so I was able to add some more like that. And I had no idea how to use masters to create slides. So I like the idea of doing that so that kids won't move things around.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm scared of them moving things around. So I really like that.
Cool.
2 questions I still have. I still want to continue learning about interaction through Google Slides.
Okay.
I love the idea of students working collaboratively, and that's one of like my biggest fears next year.
Mm-hmm.
Kids do group work all the time. I have them sitting in groups all the time. So I know with social distancing and everything going on, that's crazy. I want them to be able to do it. So I know I need to learn more about how to do that through the apps.
Yeah, you definitely be able to use it, use Google Slides for that.
Yeah, so I'm excited about that. And I feel like there's just so much to learn still. So my second one was I still need to play around with everything.
Yeah,
Play
and
around with
luckily,
it, I feel.
yeah, luckily you took a dive at the beginning of the summer, and now you have some tools you can use throughout the summer to play around with.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. One element that I want to include to increase curiosity, I know this is kind of weird, but I love emojis. So I think that would be a cool way for the kids to see me, like when they're learning at home. So I really want to like put my face everywhere. So I just put the link to your Insta story because I think that's something that is relevant to the kids right now. So I like the idea of using that too.
Yeah, I think this is a great idea, the Insta story. I really like it. I like the simplicity of it, where they link to just like read an article, watch a video, and then I think that's the one. And then one other task before they do the Insta story. So Just one note here, make sure that you open up the sharing. You don't necessarily have to do it right now for this one because you didn't create anything on it, but, or we can practice so that you know how to do that, and you may know how to do it. So all you would do is go to the share button and then turn it on to where anyone at SAISD can view. That way, whoever clicks on this, they'll be able to see it. So all you do is open the sharing setting and then click the change button and say everyone at SAISD, at SAISD can view. And then once you do that, I should be able to open it up and look at it. Yeah, it's still denied.
Hold on. Okay, show me how to do that one more time. I click on it.
Uh-huh. And you shouldn't have to put the link again. Once you share, open the share settings and turn it on, it's gonna update automatically.
Oh, okay, the share settings on the top.
Yeah, go to the share settings on your Insta story, the one you made a copy of. And then just turn on the share settings to anyone at SAIC can view.
Okay.
Okay. And that's the type of stuff, you know, little things like that that we need to, when we are working with students, that we are either sharing it with them in view only or that we're collaborating. So right now, the slides I shared with you guys, I have it to where you can all collaborate and edit. So you're going to notice that here on my side. I want you to notice here that I'm saying everyone at SAIC can edit my sides. That's why you're all able to go in there. So that's what you're going to have to do with students, okay? All right, next is Nairi. Can you tell us a little bit about your 3-2-1 and what you created?
Well, I just used a template from that you had.
Okay.
And so I like the choice boards for being in the library, and so I'm more leaning towards a lot more asynchronous work than synchronous because of it being almost like an elective, the library.
Right.
So I have to come up with assignments that they'll be able to do pretty much on their own or with little assistance. But in a way, I did the topic of fiction versus nonfiction, and then on the left, I did the things that they have to do, the video. There's 2 stories, and then the other 2 that they have during the rest of the week to do to choose 2 options.
Okay.
I didn't get to finish.
Oh, that's fine. And so you took a template that you liked and then you made it your own, right?
Correct.
You started adding your elements. This looks really good.
But I didn't get to do any of the, my question is for like the slides. I know if you had your own class, you would add a slide for each student and they would go in like on that Venn diagram and they would choose slide 2 or 3 or whatever their name is. But
Right.
how would you do that for such a large group like a library? Like when I'm doing like 3rd through 5th or K through 2nd?
Yeah, so, well, that's a good question, because then you'd have lots of slides, right?
I've been using where they go and respond like on Padlet.
I think that would definitely be a good idea. But if you're using slides, gosh, I hadn't even ever thought about that. Because about how many kids are we talking about that you're going to see? Hundreds?
Well, like in this, yeah, like it's for 2 schools. So like whenever I have them do a question that I want them to respond, I would just put a link to the Padlet, and then all 3rd through 5th was responding on there.
Right. So what you're wanting is for them to do something a little bit more interactive, like creating a Venn diagram or making a poster.
Yeah. So how would I do that?
Yeah. So what I would do, now this is me just thinking about it right now and problem solving through this, is I would do view only where they have to make a copy and it's just the one. So like if it's the Venn diagram, let me see, do we have a Venn diagram here? Let me show you in my choice board area. So I'm going to go to mine and let's see right here. And let's see, which one was it? what was that? That one was called Choice Board, right? There's the Choice Board. I thought I had it here. Okay. Let me just go, I'll go get it from my drive. Okay, so what I'm thinking is that for each one of these selections, right? I'm gonna make a copy of this, make a copy of the entire presentation is fine for now. And this one is gonna be, let's see, poster activity. Okay, so poster activity. And so I'm gonna get rid of the other sides because we wanna make it a choice once they get to this part. All right, so then this is just the poster activity. That's it. So you gotta get rid of everything else. So then share this in view only. Okay, so viewer, copy link, done. Then come back to the choice board. And I don't know why I X'd it out, but here it is. So then go back to the choice board. And when it says create poster, which is the one that I did, I'm gonna link it to the one activity by itself. Insert link, put it in there. But instead of sharing, okay, because I mean, unless you teach the kids how to make a copy, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna force a copy. So I'm gonna take everything off up until the edit and say copy and apply. So when the student clicks, oh, I wanna do poster, they're gonna click on that and it's gonna force them to make a copy. All right, and then when you get to the copy, when the student says, make a copy, they're gonna see the notes on the left. You're gonna have notes in your template from you, maybe with your little emoji there telling them what to do. And you're gonna say, create this poster, you know, whatever the instructions are, and then at the very end, at the bottom, click on this Padlet to turn in your work.
Okay.
Okay, and so that would be, for me, that's the workflow I would do.
So just
Because-
changing the end of the link from the sharing or edit to copy.
Yes, you change it to copy, that way it forces a copy for the kid. And so then what the instructions would be, for me, what I would say, and I'm just gonna put it here so you can see it. What I would say is 1, change title to include your name and name of poster. So for example, Sonia O, and then whatever the topic is, biomes or whatever, right? And then 2, create your poster using whatever your guides are. And then 3, turn in your poster in this Padlet. And then you would put the Padlet link, right? And you may need to, okay? It just depends on where your students are, but I probably would just include it anyway. I would create a small little Screencastify, and you can use it on all of you know, just make the Screencastify once. It's the same skill for them to learn how to go grab the shareable link. So you make a quick Screencastify. This is how you get your link. You copy the link, okay? And then you go to the Padlet and turn the link into the Padlet,
Okay, yeah.
right?
Yes.
Okay.
There would have to be lots of little mini videos to show them how
Little
to.
mini videos, unless they're back at school with you and you can teach them.
Right.
Yeah,
Yes.
but I hope that answered your question.
Yes, it did.
Okay, awesome. All right, and next is,
Oh, wait, I had another question.
oh, sure, go ahead.
like on some of the things in the single sign-on, like the Smart Suite and the
Mhm.
Pear Deck stuff, you
Yeah.
can put in YouTube videos that don't have the ads. But like today, when
Yes.
I went to go put in this one, it still has the ads. So how am I?
So I know if you're using Pear Deck, you can get the ads taken out. So if you decide to make your entire lesson with the Pear Deck add-on, you can do that. You would need to, I don't know how you said you tried it in Pear Deck?
No, in Pear Deck and like in Smart Suite, it does take out the ads. But like today, when I wanted them to see the video on the fiction versus nonfiction, it
Uh-huh.
has, and I put the link, it still has the ads.
Yes, so if you put in a YouTube video, it's going to have the ads. You have to use another way to filter out the ads, which is Pear Deck or even a smart. You can put it in
Oh, okay.
smart.
All right.
You
So
can
you
grab the
just,
link. So what
okay.
you would do is if you added Pear Deck, what I would do is I would actually have to create another slide that says watch this video. It kind of works a little bit like Nearpod. And then use that and then put the URL. But what you want is the embed code. You don't want just the link.
Okay.
Yeah, so let's see if I can show you that. What was the video you were using?
It was fiction versus nonfiction, like a 2-minute video.
Okay. Fiction versus non-fiction.
And it's that first one.
Okay. So what I would do is get the share, but you need the embed code because you're going to want to embed it, not put the link because you'll still get all of the ads.
Oh, okay. All
Yeah,
right.
and then, but there's something fancy you got to do. So let me show you real quick. When you go to www and you put that in here, okay, you've got to erase, let's see, all the way to the quotations. And then from here, from these quotations on that way. Don't ask me why that's the way it works because I guess because of that embed right there. So update the slide. All right, so now when you see that, it should have the video just embedded
Okay.
without the ads. Okay.
All right.
But that means you're going to have to, if you're using Pear Deck, and for those of you who haven't used Pear Deck, you're going to have to use the student paste activity link for the Pear Deck. So if you're using that, and in Nairi, in your case, it'll work because you're not going to have kids working inside the slides, right? You're going to have them make a copy of a slide, work there, turn it in on a Padlet. For everyone else, you won't be able to use the Pear Deck if you are wanting them to work in the slides collaboratively like what I've been showing you. Because let me show you what happens. I'm coming into the Pear Deck as a student now. And all of this, I mean, it's fabulous. If you're wanting students to use this for asynchronous learning and then do an interactive activity, like you can add interactive activities in between the slides. However, they can't work together. And that's kind of, and so here's that video. That's what I'm talking about is, if you want, it depends. Are you wanting more of the collaboration? Or are you wanting an asynchronous way to send work out and they can still do something rigorous, but they're gonna have to make a copy of what they're working on and do it either by themselves or together and then turn it in somewhere like on Padlet or Flipgrid. So do you notice, well, how about this stuff? Is that what's showing up for you too?
No, it had like when I inserted it originally.
Uh-huh.
No, it has a lot more on the side and stuff to where they can go and click on other stuff that has nothing.
Okay.
So yeah, that's fine
Yeah.
like that. That's
Okay.
how it is in the Smart Suite too.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's see. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that. But there is a Pear Deck session coming up if anyone's interested in a couple of weeks. Okay. And next person, Diana. You want to share a little bit?
Okay. I have lots of questions.
Okay.
I'm just, trying to pick up what I can, and I just need to go do my homework, honestly.
Okay.
But, I'm still grappling with the master templates. I need to watch the how-to videos that you showed us yesterday.
Okay.
I really don't know what I'm teaching in the fall, so that's kind of messing with
And
me.
Diana, I know that I've talked to you before, and you've this has happened before where you don't know what you're teaching, right? Are you moving around subject to subject or grade to grade?
They're doing,
Because I think it was a couple of years ago when I spoke
Yes.
to you, right? It was a couple of years ago, and you, at the time, I think you were being changed at that time as well, like to another
Yes.
subject, or I can't remember.
yes.
Yeah.
So for the past 2 years, I taught the same multiple subjects, but then I think there's going to be another change this year. Maybe
Okay.
not, but they haven't finalized anything.
Yes. What campus are you at? Are you still at Rogers?
No,
I'm at Rogers, at Page.
No, they changed.
Okay.
I'm over at Sam Houston.
Oh, you're at Sam Houston. That's right. Okay. So
Okay.
all of the tools that I've shared with you, you can use for anything, right? Any content area. And so that's really my hope, is that I'm sharing some tools that you guys can use anywhere you go. But I do understand your predicament, because if you're not in a frame of mind of your subject or your grade, it's kind of a little bit difficult to figure out what you're going to develop, right?
Yeah.
So I would definitely keep working with the templates, and just create some master templates for things work for any subject, anytime. Like, I think some of these, like the cyber sandwich, and I mean, really all of them, all you have to do is change the content. And so start with one, start slow, and get to understand it. The way I learned how to use the masters is I grabbed one already done. I made a copy for myself. I went to edit the masters, and I just played around with the masters, and then I would go see what it did on the front end. So yeah, just take the time, like you said, to dig in a little bit more and practice.
Okay. Sounds good.
Awesome. Well, thank you. Thank you for sharing. So do you guys have any other questions? I do want to show you what some others from the previous session shared. Just we have 15 minutes, so I thought maybe I would share a couple of cool ideas that they had. Claire Romano, she wanted to do something like a create your own adventure, or even the think, pair, share, but specifically she wanted to be able to give students instructions, give them a story, and then have them do either a voice or video recording of the story. And so that was the idea she was playing around with. This one down here, this one is just a really great example that Monica came up with. She wants to personalize her slides more using Bitmojis, and then also wanted that classroom look. So this is something that's been, that I've seen on Twitter. She took it right away and just ran with it, and took the template and made it her own. So if you take a look at that, she created a picture of her inside her classroom to just really make it engaging. Remember, we talked about visually engaging for students, creating a sense of curiosity for them, and drawing them in. So here you can see what she's created. One of the things that she said that she learned from the session was, see how you can actually click on all these pictures, and so if she sends it to the kids, they're going to be able to move all these things around. Maybe there would be a reason for that, but in her case, she wants it to stay the same. So she's going to go in and put all of this in the back, in the master slide, so that they can't move any of that around. And so then you see some instructions here for the students, the recommended books for them. Okay, so you see all the different recommended lists. And then here's the template. This is the template she created. with a video that they need to watch
Hi
first,
everyone. So this video is going
showing them how to use the template, which I think is a great idea. And then here's the template where the work is scaffolded for what they're going to do. Okay, and then here she put in some sentence stems that came from the district. And so if you click on it, it'll take you to the sentence stems. However, in her reflection, she stated to the group that what she wants to do now that she's learned a little bit more about how to create templates and slides, she wants to actually embed the stems in slides and create the templates for the students so that they're not having to click out to another document to look at all these stems. And so she's going to try to scaffold the work a little bit better, more for them and a little cleaner for them so that they can get straight to their stems. And then here's one more idea that she put in here, which I told her I was going to share this with the next group. This is a choice board. And this is a choice board that actually came from, if you look at the bottom, Casey Bell at Shake Up Learning. She's got amazing templates there you can use. And Nathan Bussey over at Bonham is the one who actually, he created some of these activities. And then, let's see, was this Valerie who did this? Let me check her name real quick. Oh no, Monica, sorry. And then Monica came in and made a couple more edits on top of Nathan's work. So we've got a mix of what Nathan did and what Monica did here. And all of these activities are, oh my gosh, they look so amazing. So I'm actually going to make a copy of this tic-tac-toe choice board, and I told her that I would be sharing it with people. But look at this. So create an interview, right? Or make character trading cards, write a diary, create a YouTube playlist, a mixtape. I'm really intrigued about this, make a new book jacket. That one looks pretty interesting. And even this comic strip over here. So lots of really cool stuff for students. And so just another way of doing a choice board. So I just wanted to make sure you guys saw that in case you want to go steal that template as well. And then she put in some reading logs as templates. Again, they're sitting on the top of the slide. So I think that's another one where she's going to consider putting those in the masters in the back end. And then some more templates here. Okay, so I wanted to share that work with you, and then this one as well. So Valerie created a great choice board using the template that I shared here in this series. And this one's a reading choice board, and she went in, she changed some of the colors, and then added her own links to a News ELA article, video. And then she changed this to some research using Britannica School, which is another great idea to use some of our district resources here. And then here is the choice board where she linked the arrows to the slide, the appropriate slide. And so you can see here, there's the main idea slide, there's the summary. Here is the, what was this one? The text features, and then animal adaptation trading card. So those are the 4 choices. So just really cool stuff here, and wanted to make sure I share that with you guys. All right, any questions? I'm gonna go back to our presentation here.
Do you think y'all might ever have a, I guess, PD for the how to make a Bitmoji classroom?
Tanya's doing that. So I'm going to share that here with you in just a second, and you can see when she's going to do that. So one thing I want y'all to see here is I added another resource that I did not have there here on day 1 and day 2. And this one is the Iron Chef activity. I really, really like this activity. I don't know why I didn't include it on day 1, but I'm going to go back and add it in the appropriate place. But this is the a new way of doing Jigsaw, right? It replaces the old Think, Pair, Share activity, and now students can collaborate and read and write together. Here is the workflow for the Cyber Sandwich. And then you can see where there are 2 students working together. There's student 1, student 2, then they come together and do something together, okay? And then they present, and they write their summary together, their paragraph. So I really like this activity, so I wanted to make sure you had a copy of the Iron Chef activity. And so what I'm probably gonna do is up here, just so that when you come back to this resource, you know where to find it. I'm gonna add it to the Bukakucha area. So I'll probably just make this smaller, and I'm gonna put the Bukakucha here and then the Iron Chef on this side. So I'll redesign this slide a little bit so that you can find that resource here easily, okay? All right, so then finally, I want to review our PD flyer sessions for the rest of the summer. So here is the flyer with all of our sessions. And so if you go to, let's see. All right, so Adobe Spark, this is what Ernest did this week, and this is the one I did this week. Let me put this in present so it looks better. What's going on? Come on. There we go. And then next week is Comic Book Creator, and this is with Tanya. You can see a series overview there. Redesigning Lessons, this is gonna be Smart Learning Suite with Kelly. Express Yourself is gonna be student creativity through virtual projects. This is with Kat. And then e-journals, it's interactive notebooks, and that's with me. And so we're gonna learn, you're gonna have some of the same skills or tools that we just learned with this series, but purposely geared towards creating an e-journal or an interactive notebook for students. So we're gonna learn how to do those specific products for kids. So we're actually gonna create some student journals. This one is Create with Google Slides, and this is with Ernest, and I think this may be the one where he's gonna teach how to do those, what you were talking about, Nairi. Let me make sure, because I thought there was one specific to the emojis in the classroom. That one's Pear Deck with Kelly. And then this is Coding with Tanya. Makerspace with Kat. Gamify Your Lessons using Flippity and a couple others with Ernest. And then this is the Goose Chase without a goose chase, and that's me. And so what I'm doing here is showing, there's this amazing app called Goose Chase where students can embark on an amazing scavenger hunt that's really fun and interactive. But that app is not approved in the district for security reasons. So I am going to show you how to create this, to simulate the same game without using the Goose Chase app. So that should be fun. So I think that was after we did this overview. I'm almost positive, Nairi, because I know Tanya said she wanted to do the one where you show them how to make that room. Let's see. So that was going to be, which one was that with Tanya?
And then some of the ones like Kat doing that Pear Deck and all that, are those exact same ones that they did at the beginning before the remote learning started?
They're all different. All of our sessions for summer are different. So
Okay.
they may have some similar attributes or characteristics, but we are constructing new lessons.
Okay.
Okay, so you know, there's some things that we can't get away from showing when it comes to these, especially for people who did not attend, right? We may have to do a quick little recap or a review, but we are constructing these new. Okay, so Nairi, I'm gonna ask Tanya specifically if she is covering that, because I remember she said she wanted to do it. And so I will double check and send you the link to that.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. All right. And then let's go back to, okay, so then that was a quick review for what's coming up in the next few weeks And then finally, we have our EdTech hours from 3 to 4, Monday through Thursday. So anything that you've learned this week or even in the future weeks as you're coming to our summer PD, you can always join us in office hours from 3 to 4. For any questions, if you're trying to problem solve something, if you need some ideas, join us there from 3 to 4, and the link is here on this slide. And I will be placing this on all of my sessions. I'm sure the others are doing that as well. So any presentation you're in, towards the end of the presentation, you should see the link to the office hours. And then finally, right at the very end, I'm going to include the videos for this mini-series, and I'm going to place them right here. Okay, so that way you know if you need to come watch these videos again. All right, any questions before we go today? All right. Thank you so much, you guys, for being here. I appreciate all of you. And if you need anything, just like I said, come into our office hours, and we will be more than happy to help you. Thank you all so much. All right, have a good day. See you later.